Hey guys, Frank here from the D20Misfits. Just saying, this is going to be cool, good session. I can feel it. Not really, but we're going to see what the fuck happens. So remember to hit that like, subscribe. We are slowly building up that numbers. We're almost at 1,000, by the way. So
nice.
Woo! Let's get that going. Yeah. So thank you everybody for today, and listen, we find whoever freaking did Gamevault dirty. We're gonna find you. We've done.
Suplex City boy.
Bad day, bud. Hey, you're messing with our home. Don't do it again.
We're that was definitely a child.
Anyway, so remember, like, subscribe, share, and let's dive into tonight's episode of
I don't know what it's called.
Curse of Shadows. So, see you in a little bit. And welcome back. So, last we left off, party. The scales have landed in a desert world. Didn't know their surroundings at all, besides seeing a massive, what looks to be a mechanical hammerhead shark in the sky, which is a ship. Some know what it is, some don't. This could be linked to Spelljammer. Could it just be some type of alien technology? But as they are seeing the horizons and seeing this ship is cultivating these giant great worms, unbeknownst to you guys came into contact with one, with some of you being eaten and thrown back up, eaten again,
Multiple times.
thrown back up, eaten for,
Four.
four more times.
Blip.
Seeing gigantic birds flying over the horizon, figuring out that they were lending aid to you. You guys met a denizen of this place and was taken to the city, Tamriel. This massive desert scape that is large. The city is huge, as it were. Meeting with the king, covered up. It looks to be maybe some form of disease, like leprosy. Deep diving into it, you guys figured out that biomagic was used to enhance, cure, but it was leaving a mark, a trace that was harmful and hurtful, and was killing slowly. Knowing that a banquet was being held, you guys were allowed to explore the city with the captain of the guard, at your disposal, guiding you through. And seeing this massive bazaar going around, you guys wanted to see what more the city has to offer. So she offered pretty much a tour ride on their route as they protect or survey the city. And the city is designed in a crescent moon shape. How the city overlaps like a crescent moon, and then there is a oasis that spans that, and there is a particular spot where tourists or the residents can enjoy. The rest are the natural habitat of these giant birds. And then there is more, as in these shelters or bunkers and the slums are past the other side of this oasis part. So seeing all of that, checking out the bazaars, checking out what they have to offer, the different fruits, the different clothings, as it were, and knowing that you guys had this banquet being held, you guys wanted to dress like the culture. So Isak, who is ripped to all hell as a female warrior,
She got abs for days.
She makes Xena look bad.
Bye, Mari.
But you see the first time, or the excitement of, you know, playing dress up for special occasions, and having all you guys dress up, and then partaking within the banquet. In the banquet, you guys now realize that, yes, they have a lot of greens and meats from the worm that they cultivate, but they also cultivate not just the meat from the worm.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got to taste the milk, by the way.
I think I was the
Fuck
one
you.
that did a shot.
The eye as a delicacy.
Oh God,
And as you guys were starting to get down and dirty with this, passing the dragon's breath around, letting the new experience this, even using the village fool as a
Human
That's
rocket.
boom cannon,
weapon.
you guys
Weapons of mass
you
destruction.
guys were performing trick shots for the end,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing Isak, and or most people were shocked and awed with the display of magic and these mechanical weapons that you two provide and showing off. The Isak finally is like, cool, I want to try. And she took her glaive and just like Stargate, it opens up and a beam shoots out. So their technology is crazy. More advanced than anything you've ever seen. Possibly this is how, maybe, before or after how Kalon had his weapons. But that's where we left off. And it's right after those tricks. So let's dive in and see what's more that this banquet has to offer and see what more they can uncover. So see you guys in a minute.
The adventure continues.
So, Scales, as you're around this main dining table showing off the tricks with Nell and Lucy doing that, seeing the Isak do that, as the crowd is in that long pause of awe and hearing the roars happen. The rest of the banquet's up to you guys to what you guys want to do. So, hearing the roars of the people that gasp to see this device of whatever Lucy's using to the magic of the stars glittering down has now used his shot. What are you doing? Wow,
I don't know anything about musical instruments or anything, so I can't be of entertainment that way. Turn the music down! Turn the dang music down, you kids!
If it's too loud, you're too loud.
I can't see anymore, it's too loud!
What's
How would a kangaroo stop themselves from sneezing when they just clamp their hands over their beak? It's like,
Feathers in the nostrils.
oh no! Slap the beak.
In theory, they're facing sand like an ostrich. Even though they don't do that.
Reverse sneeze, it's not funny. That was very Yeah. Pretty much. I was stuck.
It's fine.
It's good.
It's okay. You guys gonna be bumping up on the table, or?
I've done my.
Here, let's give him some new tricks.
Listen, we show off when we kill a worm, and then we show off at a party, so I think we've done our due.
We
That's
killed
what
the
I meant,
worm.
That's what I meant, yeah. We did that, and then we did a little... It's okay.
Here, how about some different targets?
Huh?
I kept asked dancing lights.
Okay.
Trick shot on a moving target.
You want us to show
It'd be
them?
really interesting if she tries to hit a moving target right now. Given how hammered she is.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Viking, you lost your fuck. You're gonna get a bunch of holes in the ceiling really
Oh no,
quickly.
I lost my last fuck.
I mean,
Wait, you actually got one to give?
Yes, I do.
he was gifted by my
I left
buddy.
mine at home.
I mean, we can certainly try.
It has, since I've put it in my box, it has been a very lucky fuck.
If you're trying to do a trick shot, would that be more of like an acrobatic thing?
More of a performance.
How many ways
Aaron, your input.
How many targets were initially set up, Frank? I forget from last week.
I think it
You
would
gotta
be
budge.
fun.
You get your
but I
dance
don't
like
think
to
it'll
go
make me
for
fun
it.
of
Used to
it.
have a couple like teacups and saucers. And that
You
was
said
it.
go for a moving target.
But now you just cast like 4 globules and lights.
Yeah, but they'll go
We
right
don't
through
want
it
to
too.
spread mass panic and then send everyone
Exactly.
into.
That's what I
They
was
just-
thinking, but it would be
If
funny.
anything hits them, they just
It'd be funny.
Yeah,
fizzle out.
It would.
No, they're
Possibly-
incorporeal.
It could possibly be sacrilegious. I don't know.
It would
Those
be
shots
like-
are going to go
odds
right
Yeah.
through it.
It's like me trying to shoot a bubble with a gun. It's still gonna pop it, but it's also gonna hit what's behind it.
So I'm just gonna hang out.
so
and eat.
4 globules, because you can
Snap.
command them to grow brighter or dimmer and to change the color. So they extinguish when you want them to. Because they last for like an hour.
concentration up to a
lights.
minute.
Okay,
If
so
you-
they last up to a minute until you go, but they don't. You can't cancel them out other than like counter spells.
If I do remember correctly, dancing lights also, if you put all the globules together, it makes like a creature. Like,
If
Something
you
like
put all
that.
4 together, yes.
Yeah, that's the.
But they're
That's
going to
what I
be spread out, and each one's going to be a different color.
why are we targeting something that potentially can go through and harm something, break something, or kill something?
Well-
Why don't you combine them together and make a dancing man? Make Burning Man, but Light Man. Dun, dun, dun. Light Man
Could do that.
saves the party with his brightness.
We have them like dim light 8, so it's not blinding everybody.
What are you gonna have them do?
Walk around dancing like a clown.
Alright, go ahead and roll performance.
Dancing. What does a clown dance look like, my good sir?
Any goofy thing we've done at the haunt in the last 5 years.
They don't know
Know
that.
that.
They can't use their imagination on that. Remember, roleplay.
Yes.
Are you gonna dance like the Light Man?
Well, we roll the performance first.
Is this like a fort day dance instead of,
It's 10.
trademark game?
10.
Be like,
Everybody do the flap.
like dance. Good job.
Well, that
How
fell
about,
flat.
how about we not earthquake everybody? Yeah, please? Thanks? That's great. Thanks.
I wonder. I knew something
You're gonna
fun that I
earthquake
can
everybody.
try
I'm
out,
probably
and
gonna
since I
traumatize
command
everybody.
it,
I'm not gonna do it. I want to.
I do
I'm
have
not gonna do it.
You're like, I have
Because that would be
restraint.
hilarious.
I'm
I
pretty
have
sure no one's ever
Just
seen
how it
one.
comes out.
Hey!
Focus.
I'm pretty sure no one's ever seen one before here.
What are you referring to?
It could work. It could be interesting.
Could
A rat? What?
cause
If it's
pandemonium.
under my command, no.
We also have to think about these people. I've never seen one, possibly.
Yeah, save it for later then.
We talking about a DB? A DB?
Yeah.
A DB?
My little trinket. item, a little displacer.
Never seen one other than the birds and the worms. So we haven't seen anything else.
They
That's
talk
why
about-
he said possibly.
That could be
She
bad.
goes, she was thinking of, she goes like this, you know, she's like, they only talk about the birds and the worms here. That wasn't funny. Yeah, the birds and the,
you had to drink?
that's why I let straight face after that. She's like,
You know, if you have the skeletons
that funny?
dancing, and they'd be coming out like a spooky, scary skeleton.
Thriller.
but we don't, I don't know if we have to.
That could be exactly.
I'm not magically inclined unless I want to like sneak away somewhere or shoot something. That is as far as I'm not my mother's child. I am my mother's child. I am not my mother. I am my father's child.
What if you and I just vanished?
Hey guys, look! What's that? A distraction. Deception. Would that be deception?
For what?
Just like loudly announce, "Hey guys, look! A distraction!" Just like.
No, you
trying
and I
to
have
vanish?
invisibility.
Well, we do have invisibility. That's right. Yeah, but if I just go, I'm pretty sure some people are magically inclined.
It'd be even funnier if you guys like reappeared right by us.
What's up?
Gut check.
I mean,
Don't lay an egg.
whatever you guys are doing, let me.
Sure. What we want to do? You want to go, baby? Hello, baby.
I would say at this point in time, there are, once like, you know, those festivities and the trips are kind of like starting to low down, you hear like this sound going
Stop
on.
it.
And actually about like 8 so, give or take, of like these belly ass dancers come up. And the way they dance are like the serpents of the worms. They're dressed in that color, that beige type color to match the sand. And the way they are moving is almost entrancing to when the worms popped out of the sand and was staying there in a moment. Because their roll is a 25.
They're doing the worm. Just of this realm.
On performance or
Yeah.
On their performance is that. That's that. That's not that bad. But it's almost entrancing seeing that because it's their thing. Giving you the taste of the culture. But probably about like halfway through this, the Sultan actually excuses himself. You just see that he's just not well, and he is helped out by his 2 helpers, his aides, and he is taken apart. I would say with that, with that, Ryu and Nell both quick catch that. When he coughs into his thing, it's actually like this black greenish that appears on his cloth.
What's the highest passive perception note?
Nell has eyes.
No, it's to clock that. You said they clock it.
Let me see. The
Passive perceptions, Nell has a 27, Rad has a 28.
Oh, you have one written there.
No. 17.
Looks like a damn 2.
That is a 1.
Okay, so Ryu catches it.
I was like, yours at a 20, so I didn't know yours was at least like that.
So Ryu, you catch that first.
Yeah, the dancing is quite interesting.
Maury. Not that well versed in medicine, but
Are you talking about the game?
Are you saying this like out loud?
No, like
I was gonna say.
I'm whispering, but with that.
Well, with
music-
all the sounds going on, you almost have to like shout in my ear in order for me to hear anything.
Very overstimulating.
Anyway, that's it.
Stage whisper, yell. thing.
Yeah.
Mari, I'm not that versed with medicine, but I don't think I need to be a doctor to know. Oh, if you're coughing up black, that's not good.
The king is ill.
Also, it's like a black green.
Oh, it's a blackish green. Oh,
Yeah.
So, oh, my bad.
Watch
Sorry.
the movie.
Sorry.
Don't worry, I got the hand gesture covered.
We'll talk about that later.
His parts are rejecting his body, or the other way around.
I know my character doesn't see this, but just to elaborate on this, does it have a metallic hue to it? Or
Like
is
the
it?
ichor itself?
Yeah.
Or do you not be able to see it from that far? He just
Roll me
notices
a medicine. Since you catch that first, you roll me medicine.
It's actually better than I thought it was. I'm not gonna know. It's an 8.
So,
Oh, of course, there was a crit on the second one.
so cannot divulge that information.
It's just black and green.
You looking out to it, there. Not well versed in medicine to kind of figure out what fully it is. That's why I said it was an ichor symptom. It's blackish green, which is not the color of blood to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Above tail, I'm just asking because could it be like this stuff is now in his system and things like that?
Oh,
That's-
I mean,
that's
you
poison
guys saw
effect.
him before.
Yeah, right.
And he had that like that Tony Stark fucking thing going down. So yes,
As long as that looks
based off the veins, they have the same color.
Okay.
So above table, yes. In the game,
Not
you
close.
haven't clocked it yet. That's why he went away while these dancers are going through, because this is just a party now. They don't need it.
He's
I
not feeling well.
already
You can only keep
made
up
the
with,
check
like,
for it earlier, so I
the
already know
appearance
about
for
it.
so long, kind of thing.
But I'm gonna look over. Oh well, one of two things is about to happen, and either he needs to see a doctor immediately, or our Raven friend and Queen's friend here will be paying him a visit.
Are you saying that in a whisper?
I don't
whisper
know that.
still?
Yeah.
By the way, up table. She's not a reaper. She's just a necromancer. She's not like, the king is dead. I've got a new puppet. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me if you want to kind of live. Now dance.
My brother, you will have my axe. You will have my
Yeah.
sword. You will have your brother.
I mean, I kind of can. For like. I have like a bunch of questions. Because I'm like, I don't know how far the disease has progressed. His body might be toast. I don't know if anything I can do will actually help him or not. Like if I could do like a heal on him and it would actually do anything long enough for us to figure out some kind of system that would help him regulate it so that he doesn't pass. But I mean, his body could be too far gone. He could be fucked, regardless of anything we try to do. But I also don't understand their medicine enough to be like, okay, yes, this is... I mean, I was present for when they were showing us how it worked, but that's after, you know, years and years and years and years of refining. He might be one of the original people that started with the progressions, so he might be the first one
And he said
suffering
he
from
was-
this poison.
He said he was here when they brought the stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
So I was like, the procedures that they did on him might be radically different from what they did
What they do
on
now.
yeah, than what they're doing now, because they've had the practice, they know how to do it. better compared to when they first started. So I was like, I have a bunch of questions and I don't know who to direct this to. Because I can't just be like, oh hey, by the way,
You're sick. What's wrong?
uh-huh.
I mean, that could be above table. That could be something you discuss with the group, since none of us know the fact that you're talking to each other about this stuff. So,
Well, the person probably with the best chance at getting me access to the king to see what it is exactly we could do for him is right there. But, I mean, I guess we could request an audience or something. But I'm sure they're going to be like, the king is unwell, not available right now, go back to the party right now. I don't know. I got a bunch of questions. I got no answers.
so anyway, back to us watching the belly dancers.
Well, I was waiting to see.
Okay, based on that, go ahead and roll a perception.
Chowing down.
17.
No, she's keeping those.
So, looking around, you kind of don't really fully know like who to like go to about these questions that you're contemplating about and stuff like that. You do know that like mostly everybody's here, and you can see like that shaman that you talked to before, and other figures that kind of look like him that are there. They all range in between size, age, gender, but like that's like the most that you see out of it. But but you can talk to any one of these. There's about I want to say 6 right now that are in attendance. Other than like the queen herself or the captain.
That's my only. I was like, probably the best person to talk to would be the one in charge of the king's health.
Only with the 17, I'm gonna give you this that you swear you saw something on the corner of your eye in the distance of this large room, like maybe 70 feet away is one individual that is completely cloaked, that has a staff, that's kind of just leaning against the wall, kind of drinking a little bit, but nobody's going up to this person or anything of that nature. Some people don't even realize that he's actually there. Quickly, like, catching a glimpse. That's the only thing that's out of the ordinary. But 17 is probably the best you're gonna get.
I figured. My perception is not that great. I'm not these two. So.
Mine's okay. I have a 20. That means I'm normal.
My passive perception is at 12, my darling.
20 still doesn't seem much.
But with you contemplating on like who to ask these two, you can see like I said, like 6 shamans and then this other like really cloaked figure who looks like a shaman based off the dress being foreground with like a staff of some type. Other than that.
While everyone is kind of distracted, I'm going to kind of get up and then walk around the room till I'm closer to, I want to say, the cloaked figure. Are they all in the same area, or is it one's on one side of the room?
No,
one's
the
on
shamans are all spaced out.
Okay.
For that, they're all spaced out, mingling with their own like inner circle, or people who just got augmentations from him and just getting like a once over because they're there to make sure they're checking up, make sure their work was good.
Yes.
Other than that, the only thing that I said that was standing out was that complete cloak figure with the staff just laying against the wall. Because nobody's not.
Yeah, as of do I want to do this by myself? Did you guys come up back near us, or?
Not really. We haven't really moved. You guys are doing your thing. We really didn't say anything else.
Dude, you guys have been all at the table, other than you guys taking a couple feet out to
Yeah.
use trick shots. Cool, because it's not like it's not bunched. The tables are really spaced out because it has the room for these dancers to go through, for the servants to go through, and all that stuff. And it's the biggest thing is there's not many human or blood-filled servants. They are mainly constructs.
The dancers are constructs.
No, dancers are there.
Oh.
The servants.
That are filling your drinks, that are making sure the pitchers are full when you guys pass it around and stuff like that. They're making sure the stuff that's on the table are full. So think of it as a big Italian family. Massive pots in the middle. You pass it around, take what you want. Same with the jug. There's jugs at each table that has that milk in it. That literally is just making sure it is staying filled. And these are constructs, and some aren't anatomically correct. Some are those grells themselves. So there's a lot of different things going around. And the best way I can describe like these grells are, think of the Matrix, except they are more falcon-like in the head.
Okay. So I'm going to get up and then walk toward, or at least head in the direction of where that one singular guy is standing. Because everybody else either isn't cloaked or we already know to a degree.
So I mean, sort of. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Or, like they're identifiable. Like, oh hey, this is a shopkeeper. This is like he's the only one that we haven't identified yet. And I would assume, based on the way that he's dressed, he's got something to do with the cloak is suspicious. It's like everybody else is, out, and he's a cloaked man in a room full of people with no cloaks on. Yeah.
Unless it's not suspicious to them, they kind of know who he is.
Yeah.
So that's who you were going to approach?
Yes.
Okay. Paying no mind. He's paying no mind.
I figured. Okay, are we focusing on? I wasn't sure if anybody was doing anything else. Okay.
You're pursuing it.
Okay. Okay.
He's not at the moment. He's not paying. He's not looking. He's just entranced with the dancers.
And
that's it.
Okay. You said he's holding like a staff.
He's holding a staff. Yes.
As I get closer to him, am I going to recognize anything about the staff?
Make a perception roll, or an investigation, or arcana. You pick, and I'll give you the appropriate response.
You said perception, investigation, or arcana?
Religion, you can pick any one that will help you try to identify the staff. It does look like it has, like on the top centerpiece, it has what looks to be, how far away would you say you
Within like 10, 15-ish feet.
So, defaultly, this staff, the ornate piece that's on it, is that resembles a dragon.
Okay.
It looks a lot more for wear, but it's some kind of big winged beast
Okay.
with a tail, horns, stuff like that. So it's not a griffin,
Mm-hmm.
It's not a rock, but based off just that alone, and that little quick depiction, is probably a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen a dragon in these parts.
Yeah. If we're going with religion, it's 24. Everything else is going to be either a dirty 20 or a 19.
Well, what do you want to go with? You tell me what you want to go with.
We'll go with religion. That'll be a 24.
So staring on it, you said with the 24,
Yeah.
you're looking at it. Something feels off automatically to you, but it's not frightening.
Mm-hmm.
It's not disconcerting. In fact, it's the opposite. It's hope. Because looking at this, the headpiece ornament is a dragon curled around a gem. And it looks really rusted. Like it's starting to go it looks a silvery metallic, but it's so worn down that it's
Kinda
reflecting.
tarnished.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tarnished a lot, but
It's weathered.
it's very weathered.
Yeah.
But the jewel that's inside, that it's caressing, is of almost like a sky blue, which throws it off of trying to focus on the dragon, because you're really focusing on that gem now.
Mm-hmm.
That it is like a sky blue. You said religion?
Yeah.
So, by default, based off those alone, what's quickly going through your mind is, that's the symbol of Bahamut.
Which is a little weird in a place with no dragon.
Or the name that you ever say.
Yeah. Well,
Aside from
Aside from that, but
my only thing is like when we were walking through like the bazaar or something, usually there are people with different belief types, but being that they're kind of, I would assume at this point they all kind of worship roughly the same thing. I would assume this would
there's
be
a lot,
an outlier.
I would say, like, looking at everything like from the bazaar point of view,
Mm-hmm.
well, one or two things. First, you roll me a nature. The other part, just as a collective,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the bazaar, there's a lot of depictions of stars or moons or these pyramids with an eye on it. That's the consensus of whatever they're, like, faith-wise, that is what they're trying to, like, that's what they go after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the consensus. What that is, don't really know, other than that it could be, like, the eye that they're talking about.
Yeah.
This Eye of Ra or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
26
like
on
the
that,
main
Frank.
thing. What was it?
26.
Okay, so I would say, like, during the party, you know, with your Drake and all that stuff, you guys were going around and seeing the rocks in their habitat with the oasis. You've heard about rocks before. They are natural predators to dragons because of their massive size. They can go toe to toe, but not with, like, the older dragons.
They can go toe to toe with an adult, but they cannot unhang with them.
Like, adult and lower is what they prey on.
They will not.
Higher, they won't mess with. They know better than that. They'll put up a fight if they're in a flock. Absolutely, they'll try to take.
But they're not going to fuck with an ancient.
But naturally, they are kind of like the natural enemies to a dragon, because that's the only thing else bigger in the sky. So maybe that's why you haven't seen a dragon yet. So, consensus is probably that eye they were talking about, that central hub of the Eye of Horus or whatever that is connecting everything to that. And then, you know, there is no other religion, so this is sticking out.
Big time, yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Is he like leaning up against a pillar, or are we by a wall, or where are we?
Leaning up against the wall.
Okay.
He's like the cool kid right now.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing is I wasn't sure because if he's
You're good.
okay.
That's me holding in a button like cap locks that makes that sound.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to like. I'm not gonna like yell, but when I get close enough to like say something, I'm gonna keep it to where he can hear it, but maybe it'll get lost in the din of all the sound. I didn't think I'd see another dragon worshiper around here.
If you are aware of the ancient times before the sky people came,
Unfortunately, I don't know much about it.
it's an older tale. It has its times. Roll me an arcana.
Oh, it's gonna be a 9.
You don't. You're not putting. Okay, so maybe he's just very raspy, going in and out with different tones.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't. Maybe he's just that old. You're not really. You can't really see him.
Yeah.
One thing you maybe see is maybe a scruff of white, but he's like raspy-ish as it can be. But he's going in now. Maybe he has a bio implement in it that's not fully adjusted, or it's on the wear that's making his voice dramatically change in different tones.
Okay. Would you tell me about it?
Oh, I can. Is that something you want to hear in a place like this?
Well, I'm not from here, so
I can tell.
what gave it away? Was it the fact that nobody else was approaching you?
It's the fact that you're a father of a Pelor.
When she hears that and she recognizes that he knows what's going on, she kind of just gives a little smile about it. She's like, ah, okay. I would take it you're not quite from around here either.
No. On a hiatus.
None of us know what's going on, so none of us are coming over to
You just made a noise. I'm like,
I think I kind of get, but at the same time, none of us are coming over because we have no clue what's going on.
yeah.
Like, just chilling. Yeah.
What would you like to hear?
Yes, please.
I don't think that this is the appropriate place, so let's step outside.
Alright. I'm like, let's step outside, alright?
Like I said, his voice is changing.
Changing,
She's
yeah.
not catching on why. So come along.
No!
And he is walking outside towards like a balcony.
Okay.
That's outside. We're waiting for
Before I do anything, because I am going to follow him outside, I am going to try to get either of the three of you's attention.
Which one? You have to pick. You can't say either. You have to
Any of
pick.
if any of you kind of are looking in my direction,
We can't. That'd be above table. That'd be meta. I feel like that'd be a meta. Almost.
Well, I mean,
If you want to reach out to someone, you can just
pause.
send it to. I don't know which
In-
way would be directing.
In an unfamiliar area, your eyes are naturally drawn to something that is familiar to you. So if anybody recognizes me, or if anybody pays attention to like
It's
me
a
getting
lot
up,
of shit going down.
Yeah.
to tell you the
Yes.
truth. So the only way that I'm going to say above this that you can do that is if you grasp that sentence.
And then pick who you want to come with you. Just split.
Or
what?
so you can send it to all.
there, but not really be
You
there.
can send it to all, and it's not like it's sending. So
You
it
can send to all.
Okay.
to
relays only
couple.
telepathically. It does not speak out of the stone.
yes.
Depends on what you want to do.
As long as you have it in your possession, you can telepathically.
Yeah. I'm going to send out a kind of general broadcast. Found a possible follower of Bahamut, following him outside. We'll be on balcony. And then I'm going to follow him outside.
Disappear with the crowd.
Yeah, because we're not gonna go somewhere random people we don't know and not tell people where we're going.
It would be cool if we can use like a sending stone as like a
subtle
while you're talking,
spell.
we can hear what he's saying. That would be cool.
It's
Yeah,
not.
don't worry.
It's
But it
not a
doesn't work like that.
walkie-talkie. It's not.
I know,
with your
but it would be cool.
It's not a wiretap.
I know. It would be cool though.
Okay. And then I am going to follow him outside.
So I'm guessing Nell has done the same thing as me, and kind of like shadowed through the crowd.
Well, how do you guys respond to that?
I'm gonna be looking around, trying
Oh, I'm just
looking for the balcony
yeah. We're gonna kind of
and see if any of the others reacted.
Time to sneak away.
we kind of gave the nod, so it's like shadow through the crowd and flitter over.
37 on stealth.
I just
So
don't.
popped.
I
Pass
just.
without trace.
I just
Oh,
don't
you
want to
bastard.
get.
You don't have to do stuff. It's
Or-
just me and him are just like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be sneaky.
I'm sure.
So,
respectfully, I'm sure he's gonna call.
I'm
I'll
open
put
it to
stealth
this. If you guys are trying to catch a bead on Amari before she walks away, as she does this,
Oh yeah.
I want a general, because you guys are relatively all close together. So I need a group survival check.
Survival.
It was a 4. It just looks ugly.
No.
I'm gonna set the DC alone 10. So
That-
if there's
that was
more
it for this
above, then you guys collectively can track her down.
Okay.
24. My survival is plus 10.
26.
27.
Let's go.
27, and if I roll, I was told
Okay,
to
so-
roll nat 20 on that.
All above that table,
No.
all above that line, you guys quickly follow one another, seeing where Amari goes. Because Amari does stick out like a sore thumb because she glows.
Well, there's not only that
That's it.
wings. There are a limited amount of people with wings on their back in here.
That's very true. So it's not like she does stick out like a sore thumb. So you guys collectively can find her.
You do too. You want that.
So I would say, as you follow him out there, you can see that dome there. It's cooler outside than it is inside. For one.
Well, there's a lot
But
of people
now,
and everything.
What's crazy about it is there are a lot of stars, and some actually depict way different constellations you've never seen before. So you know damn well you are not anywhere within the same universe.
We're not in D&D Kansas anymore.
And literally, a meteor shower goes as he just goes up and rests his staff. As soon as he rests up against it, just 3 stars. And when he's setting it down and he's about to turn around to tell you this story, he is surprised by 4 other individuals. Oh,
Howdy.
well, we have
I've got a 37 on stealth.
Yeah, we stealthed it.
I assumed you guys
We're
were
just like resting at like.
Yeah, I assumed you guys
outside.
were resting on the other side of the wall, out of
That's-
sight.
Yeah, we never out of sight. We
Okay,
was
so-
like, too.
So as he turns around and sees two other people beside you, I didn't know this was going to be an audience. But answer me this: why are there two hidden?
She looks over.
Come out from the shadows, both of you.
I didn't realize this was going to be a group thing either. I was just telling them where I went.
For the ring.
That's the scary part. The fact that he knows that there are two other people hiding in shadows.
As I said, I was like, he's probably going to immediately clock all of y'all.
I'm not even trying.
We were just sitting like the cool kids in the dark, just like.
So do you reveal yourselves?
I've been made, sure.
She comes out, blindfold still. Blindfold still.
But, I mean, Dragon Boy. So,
We're just keeping an eye on things. No hostility.
and some of them might know more than me.
What is the first thing you clock? Especially when he says, why are two others hidden? His eyes go from normal to reptile.
Reptile people!
True sight.
Well, reptiles. Dragon eyes.
Can't they track, like, heat signatures?
No, it's more
No.
like,
Okay.
No, they have heightened senses to where they can know if anybody's close by within a certain range.
Gotcha.
So
More
it's
like
that, it's
tremor
that blind
sense or something
sense.
like that.
No.
I
it's-
have a legitimate reason to stealth away.
Huh?
I have a legitimate reason to stealth away.
Yes. You are one of the star-chosen people. But definitely, like, dragonborn eyes is what's there. And he looks like... Okay,
But we
I'm
can't
saying
see his
just
face.
he, just because that's just general terminology for me. I don't want to say it, because you guys don't know gender-wise what this person is, but his shape is of that of, like, a humanoid. But it's not bulky or beefy like a dragonborn or like a Goliath is. He's more along the lines of human elf as far as the height goes, because he's about average,
So,
like 6 foot.
so almost as tall as right.
So he's a little bit taller, like above average than a human, but elf too, he's above average, but it's just that's the figure that's going off, but he's so cloaked in many different things that it's weird. That's the only thing that you see within the darkness void are the flashes of dragonic eyes.
Well, I believe introduction. Perhaps? I don't know.
Well, at least if you're traveling with a follower of the Dawn Father, the Matron of Ravens, and
He's just like, what is this
I want to
bastardization?
say you're starting a new follower of Bahamut's. The other two can't really catch what you've
Actually, you would be able to see the vines wrapped around her neck.
also got. The Wild Mother and then okay.
The only thing that she doesn't have this, she has more like this.
I know.
She does have the vines
Okay,
around her neck.
so to your group, he says, well, since you follow the Dawn Father, the new follower of Bahamut's, the Matron, the Wild Mother, and an old ancient god of death and life. You're not from this world either.
No. So yes, introductions, please give me.
What's the wrong way? Be the Fae? Well, I didn't mean to rhyme that. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, Lucy. Tell me.
I knew it.
Sound a lot like.
I don't like this.
I have an inkling on who it could be. There's 2 different candidates, but we'll see how this plays out.
Does your name start with a P? No, Diana, there is no P.
No.
It's Uck.
I was above the table thing. Does your name start with a P? No, Diana, there is no P.
Yes. It does. Do you know who I am?
I've heard of you.
Have you?
Yeah.
Then who?
Be the Fae.
Wrong.
Ooh. But the arcade. Hey. Oh wow. Brain don't work well.
You did
Be
the
the
PH.
Fae.
I
Yeah.
am neither Fae, human, dead or undead.
Interesting.
Not gonna lie, whenever she hears it stop, she's just like, oh, thank God.
She gets
Yes, I am not the trickster Fae, Amari. You're fine.
But you do know our names.
I thought we were screwed there for a moment. I'm not gonna lie.
We still may be.
No, like
Insight?
Go right ahead.
ooh.
Woo! Knowing a slight
25?
bit about the.
I want to roll that also.
Yeah.
Being.
What are you trying to gauge?
Tell him the truth or not. That's it.
Ugh,
I was
really?
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, add a D4 that because Draco's going to use guidance.
Never mind.
I don't know.
29.
I would do.
An
I
arcane
got a 16.
archer knows the spell guidance.
Magic initiate.
Druid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn fighter, man. Built him. Messed
Weird.
up.
It
Yeah.
would be
fighter.
different-ish.
He doesn't have any special shit.
For her knowing, like, I guess a slight gist of Faye, she doesn't know, like, I know all your names and I know blah blah blah, but is there anything
You
that,
can't tell.
Then that means I wouldn't, so I'm like,
For his role, which I'm not telling you if it is persuasion or deception, is a dirty 30.
Jesus.
would there be something that I would
Could have rolled one higher.
do for,
He has a plus 13.
I was nowhere near
I got a 29.
knowledge delving, like, I don't know how much she would know of,
You didn't have to roll that.
like your father said, whenever she needs to
Yeah.
reach out, kind of thing.
I mean,
A nat 20 would have put it at a 27.
Because he says he's not really of
With
the
the D4
Fae,
would
but
be-
like if
he's not Fae,
31.
human, dead, or undead.
So he's.
I just went dragon.
would there be like an that's not knowledge.
But I do begin with a P, which, by default, my name is how it is pronounced. Paladine.
Respectfully, got nothing. Nothing.
And above table, I thought we were getting screwed over. Because you did that voice that you do for the other ones, and I'm like, oh shit.
You can try to roll a history
And then he said Lucy's name.
Okay.
if you want to.
Is that for anybody?
Yeah, to try to find like the origin of the name
Nope.
or religion.
What was the rules for?
History or
Nope.
religion. If you are proficient in it or know of like that.
22.
Nope.
Okay.
22, 16
But
plus 6.
I'm also gonna.
Religion.
Ooh, not 20. Not 20 plus 6. And I had the purple, so I'm in the I'm good with my religion.
You and me both.
What?
I
Nope.
have no idea.
Okay. So the word paladin comes from like just the word itself, how it's pronounced, how we said it, has a station of nobility to it. Old nobility. Basically, in old lore, there used to be a god named Paladin who ushered in the first, as you guys will now know, those who are stupid. That's where Paladin
Comes from. That's immediately what I was thinking.
Yep.
So, with the oldness of it, that is a godly name. And like I said, it has that ring of nobility to it, that stoic presence that he said. But just origin of the name itself, Paladin used to be a very old deity of light and true. That's where the term Paladin comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So to have these first words come in, Paladin really means truth and justice, which are the same traits of Muhammad. So Paladin could have been, the name itself of this old ancient god could have been before Muhammad existed. So the name is old, but it has that nobility feel to it.
Well, now that we have all of our introductions in,
He's only said your name. In his.
And Amara.
I'm pretty sure
And Ryan. He hasn't said the other names.
he knows who
No.
you
Pretty
No,
sure
he
that's
never
who
said
we
Ryan.
are.
But like I said, you guys all came out of the shadows, so.
Like, pretty sure he knows who we are, considering he knew who we worship.
So yeah, I mean, you can catch that down right that he spoke, because you said you don't really know if he's speaking the truth, but with that role of you don't know, you can definitely tell he's hiding something. Or he
Which is
doesn't
also
want,
why
he's
I
not
thought we made
releasing full information.
Divine sense? Can I do it?
Sure. It's
Am
not,
I-
I mean, it's not a roll, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you roll me a constitution either way.
Okay.
She's gonna double over.
It's a saving throw or just general?
Yes.
Okay.
Confirmed.
So that's gonna be a 28 on a natural 20.
So you don't fall down and pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can hold it back, but you can't control this part. You kneel.
I kind of figured just from the force of it, I was probably gonna end up taking a knee.
Because it's a 30
Yeah.
for his presence.
I figured.
You are forced to kneel.
Alright, well, if
I would have done it willingly, but okay.
So you guys all see Amari just take a deep breath and you've seen her do this before. Try to reach out and try to get a bead on it, and as soon as she places her hand out or she concentrates, as soon as she closes her eyes, she immediately drops to a knee. What do you do?
she doesn't know how to react. Okay, she realizes she's kneeling, but
Think about when you've seen her do that before.
that's what I'm saying. Interesting.
In your tongue, he speaks, "Rise, follower of the dark." celestial.
Okay.
I understood it.
Nope. Just sounds like gibberish to me.
I'm going to respond. Apologies for not recognizing the divine right away.
No, that's a flickering word. Don't worry about it. But unlike Aaron Ross, Star.
Aaron Noros.
Yeah, whatever. I told you I'm gonna butcher it. You have to pick like these far-fetched names out. So yes, Aaron Noros, Star Child. I know, but I've been misleading. So he waves his hand on the staff, and he just waves, and you seem very familiar to you, especially to you, the yellow robes, the older gentleman.
You said yellow robes? Wait, is this who I think it is? What the hell are you doing here?
I love a good mystery.
That you do, my friend.
The fact that
I'm gonna
There's
hear
not-
my friend and I'm gonna go. You're gonna get the what? Look.
okay, there are a lot, especially those who have practiced magic, knows that there is only one wizard who dons yellow robes. And that is Fizbin.
Never. I don't think she's ever actually.
No,
No, you got.
So
I have no idea.
he's only mentioned him. It's like my
Rye
friend is-
really knows who he is.
Yeah.
This,
I have no idea.
allow me.
Nell probably would
You said
would
old
probably have
friend.
heard tales. of
Yes.
him.
Allow me to introduce. There's a good friend of mine, and the one that gifted me Sparky. This is none other than Fizbit, and
Oh, it's good to know he's not your actual imaginary friend. I was starting to think he
Get
was.
the title right.
I'm sorry. I always,
Fizbin the Fabulous.
I always screw this up. You know
Yeah,
this.
that's legitimately that is his title.
No offense, of course. I thought every time he mentioned you, and he's like, oh, even when he said he saw you at
If
the
you
tavern.
want to,
Thought he
if
was
you
a
are
little
proficient in it, make a history roll. The DC is 20.
I also did think he was a little cuckoo.
I'm
But
not
I
going to
honestly
save a
thought
barrel in
that
that
he
20.
had an
I'm not going to get
imaginary
near it.
friend named Fizbin, so I do apologize. He mentioned you,
Yeah,
and every time he said
I'm
you
not
were
gonna
there,
get
you
it
weren't
either.
there.
My history's only +1.
So.
I'm not even proficient in it.
Same.
Nobody?
Well,
Nope.
no, none of us have anything that's gonna get close to it.
It's old. It's lost to it. Okay, so generally speaking, what did you roll?
I'm not proficient in it.
Okay, what did you roll?
Just for shits and giggles.
13. That's not good.
Dirty 20.
I'm not even proficient.
No, I'm not proficient. I mean, I can roll, but.
Dirty 20?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. With that, Fizbin's part of the 12.
Above table, I know what the 12 or the 12 over the 12
The
sorcerers.
12 mages that ushered in the Age of Arcana and also defeated Vecna. Among the greats, among the greats, you know, you have that's Tasha, that's
Volo.
Volo, that's Morkainen. These are the greats. So, of station, Fizbin does carry that weight of title of being a really grand mage.
So you vacationed in the Egypt? went and caught vacation, I guess. You were in the land of the dead, and now you're here? This is part of your hiatus, you said?
Sightseeing. But weirdly enough, this strange magic is guiding me here.
I think that's why we're brought here too. Eventually.
I was not expecting any of this, to be honest.
I didn't expect coming here, but apparently we're brought here for a reason.
How would you feel if you've been being lied to?
Say that? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, so I guess no surprises there.
By whom, for what? Usually, being lied to,
Well, you wish
unfortunately,
to
at this
hear
point is not unexpected.
My tale of why there used to be dragons here. But I know a little bit more about this place than you.
Considering you're
You
Jon
have
Snow and it
been
over here.
lied to, deceived, as it were.
About the star people coming here.
That is a lie.
And the guardian at the tomb?
That is real.
What lies within?
Placed here by the star-ish people?
It's a broad term.
People from...
It has been misguided.
That's always fun.
So centuries ago, an ancient civilization left behind powerful artifacts in the heart of Tamriel, before old ancient. Including a device capable of opening pathways to other worlds, the Stargate. This device was sealed away, its true nature forgotten and guarded by a powerful entity. Recently, the strange fluctuations and disappearances have begun near a long-lost pyramid. The Pyramid of Seven that you probably saw entering here. When the ancient town of Tamriel looked and investigated these mysterious obelisks, these pyramids, they found a metal. Those who initially first touched it gained the powers of the foresight to know how to use it. And it comes at a price. For those who can use it and manipulate it as they see fit, it comes with a price, a curse. The Star People, as they refer to, were the slaves of these ancient entities.
Hell!
Those are the only ones that sought out. The survivors sought out the ones that ran, sought out these people for refugees, this Tamriel city, and gave them the knowledge of these ancient entities that were their former masters. And with the technology that they gave, this new, old magic of bio-arcana, they deemed them gods. So when another one comes, they fill the station. So it is a misconception that these people back then thought of you as refugees and sharing your technology with them, a primitive race, and gave them this advanced technology. They deemed you as a god.
Can I just say it smelled fishy when they were talking to me?
that were first here were as old texts read, especially in the pyramids, was Horus and Ra and Anubis. These were the first three refugees that were found. That sought refuge, that taught them things. I can see you have one of their bows.
It was gifted to me by the people.
So, now the question is, now that you know this truth, that these people are living alive, but you see they are prosperous, it's probably better to keep it quiet. And not to lose track of the faith that they found, that they created.
Especially if what pertains to them is inconsequential now.
So here's the question though. If one person, no, more, at least one person was here since it began, does he know? Is he the one lying to everybody?
If you're referring to the Sultan,
Yes.
it's hard to get a read, for he is more metallic than anything.
He's more machine than
He is more argumented, so who could have placed and fixed him up? Could be wiped or gone. He is dying, so I'm pretty sure his mind is too.
He can't be saved, can he?
That is yet to be seen.
Well,
These pyramids are old and not yet fully,
Explored.
yes. For they die every time and nobody comes back.
that's what we have been doing.
With that aside, they want me to fix this. Fix the bio-arcana. No one dies.
But they will.
When it takes over them completely?
Yes.
They're looking for a cure to the curse. It poisons their blood. Infected.
They are not used to this form of magic. This material itself could be poisonous in its own right.
Well, putting metal in your body certainly never really works out.
But whatever spin that the elders told their elders and their sons and their sons and their sons deemed you to be God. So fixing it could be a farce. It could also be a truth. The pyramids were no more, and I'm not. I mean, I could, but I just don't feel like going in there and seeing what this Horus Grail is. I know it's big. I know it's like these other grails, except much larger.
Well, it doesn't like visitors.
That or it's protecting something very dear.
Something maybe we should know. Or
This was leaps and bounds out of my league. Explain how these grells work. They've given us a brief explanation, but with someone of your caliber would know more.
are they golems?
In a way, they are more along the classifications of constructs. So yes, of golems, but it's too wide ranged. So narrowing it down to construct is what I have gathered. These grells is a symbiotic species, kind of like your mind flayers. infect and they make others. They infect the host, giving them strength, knowledge, long-lasting life. But eventually their mind wears down and they seek out more of the metal.
Until they are nothing but metal.
Until they are mainly consumed by him, like the Sultan is. So when he dies, he will become one.
Fascinating.
It is an invasion.
They're parasites.
But a long, clever
One that doesn't happen over several years, but eons.
one.
It's the
Yes.
slow waiting game.
They are playing a long game in this. So it is a slow invasion. But evasion nonetheless.
It'll be this, Horus, Ra, and Anubis.
They were the first of the refugees of these astral people who ran.
From this, then, I assume.
From the Grells, yes. And their names were the ones that taught these people how to use this stuff. You help me in keeping me secret and safe and hidden from my captors, and I'll teach you their ways. So, unbeknownst to them, they didn't know the full extent of this bioarcana.
And if we attempt to tell the Sultan that now, with how long they've been infected, they'll think
He
we're
would believe you.
Even if they did, it would cause mass panic. Everybody, minus the newborns that don't have one, or those who chose not to, which were smart for now,
well,
would all already understand their doom. Even if they believed us, they would be living in
the parasites
Chaos.
could also attempt to take over if they're augmented enough.
I mean, they don't feel like parasites, they just feel symbiotic.
Mm.
Like they need the people to live
Mm-hmm.
as a breeding grounds, more or less. To make more.
But as they do that,
But if they've been here
they
for
likely
eons,
evolve.
and they haven't really caused that much trouble or trying to take over, but trying to live with. That's why I said it's an invasion, but I feel it's
Contained to a degree.
it's a diplomatic invasion. Is they need organic material to stay alive.
and they need the metal to stay.
They can't mine the metal themselves.
So they can't.
If they get too close or stay within it for a long period of time, they can go awry.
Which is probably which is what happened to.
Which is that entity that is guarding the pyramid itself. Yes, it has gone berserk. Not much is true of what they have said before. That part is true. But what they are actually living is
A total lie.
a misguided truth or interpretation. It's not a lie. They're not deceiving them to make an army to go raid another world.
It's just
They're
this.
simply trying to live within it. Whether their organic parts are slowly killing those.
They're slowly choking each other off.
They're using each other without knowing it, but like I said, it is a symbiotic nature. They're not hurting.
I wonder
It's
if
just
the
long
parasites know they're killing their hosts.
I think there's more to these pyramids than is there. I just think it's an aftermath product of this. I think it's not intentional for them to kill him. It's just this form of material is too advanced, not fully studied. So, with their bodies rejecting this, and this arcana that comes with it, that's what's killing them. So an innocent byproduct that is just hurtful.
But proper study, they could learn to coexist without the negative repercussions.
So hence why they seek out you. Maybe you know a cure to this. So the cure could be to find this ancient construct and put it to bed, and maybe persuade them not to take full or a lot of augmentations. That's going to take time to study what limit you could take to survive healthy within there. Of course, they're all exceeding their natural lifespans.
Thus, they need more augmentations, or they get hurt and then get more augmentations.
So, like I said, it's just an innocent byproduct of the augmentations, but I think there's a limit to how many you can take to live peacefully with the two species.
I might have a theory on this.
I'm listening.
If this Grell that is named is as big as they say it is, if that's the first one, if we destroy it, could that possibly just end all of this? They're still able to use the material, but it doesn't affect them the way with the Grells. As if it's hive mind.
This one's
The
just one
growths
that's
themselves
gone
that they have uncovered older way, not knowing that when the host fully dies, then a new one pops up, not instantaneously. So seeing these drones come out, they've learned that those who have the augmentation can control them to a degree. So I don't think it's more of a hive mind, I just think it's the byproduct of too many augmentations. I just don't know the limit to it. I have to wait to see how long it takes for someone to die. And then quickly try to examine him before the transformation begins.
Well, from what we know, he's already lived 12,500 years.
How many augmentations does he have?
He has
There's
on
a
his
number of
jaw.
them.
I haven't seen all his augmentations.
What would you surmise, Amari?
with the Grells, I think even if we remove the one currently guarding the period.
That's
period.
not what I'm
No.
asking. I'm talking about the Sultan, the amount of augmentations he has for
How many do you think he might have?
the stuff on his neck, the jawline, as sickly as he appears.
How many augmentations he has, I can't quite determine without physically putting hands on him.
And how much do you think
But
he...
as of right now, with as many as he has, it has to be a significant number. It's poisoning his biological body.
How much of his biological body do you believe would be left? Percentage-wise?
Did I have a percentage with that whenever I did my initial medicine roll? I think we had a discussion about it, but I don't remember what percentage it was that we were talking about.
He has about 40%
Of his
flesh.
Okay.
Well over half his body is covered
So I'm just gonna say it's well over half. As I said, we've seen people with some having quite extensive work on them, but none are experiencing effects of which he is. But he's also potentially one of the first.
So, each major augmentation from that perspective is 2,000 years. If that is what you believe, extended of lifespan.
But don't they, the old man in the tent with the shamans, they just switched out a grill like it was a battery and used it full of life all over again.
The grills themselves do have a shelf life of their own lifespan. So that one could have been sick. It was fading and they just switched it out.
It's like putting a new battery in a person.
The shamans have the knowledge to know how to create them with metals. Or knowing how to hatch them, I would say. The metal is them, the ore is them. The ore is not them, it's same.
Well, the way they were able to change it to kind of like a liquidish state, they're able to kind of extract one to put in whatever it is that they need to.
There's too many variables here.
That kind of knowledge.
So I believe the pyramids were holding more.
They did
I
want
don't
us
know
to
my
attempt
way
to go
around,
there.
so I don't want to venture in by myself.
Yeah, I almost got eaten by a worm.
There's all variables like that too.
I got eaten by one.
And rocks and other desert creatures that live. I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't want to be spent before I get there.
Oh, yeah, but shit.
Yeah, they gifted me a vessel.
They can
You have
do
the
this.
upper hand. You are a god to them. Or of godly race, I would say.
Keep the knowledge, but mask it for now.
The only way that I can think about this to kind of get a bead on what it is to examine each elderly or person and go from there. Just trying to examine them and seeing how many augmentations they have with them and go from there. It is detectable by certain magics.
I fucking hate doing this. I have an idea for that. They view me as a god. Gods listen to their people. Listen to their hopes and dreams as we venture out into the desert. Every one of them. You hidden out of sight. Or you could go the route that, I don't know how it would work here, you have pledged to serve me for a time. Would raise less questions that way.
You want to be deposed as your servant.
I know I'm asking a lot, but it would raise less questions. You would have access to examine these people.
You're his shaman.
I don't think that necessary.
That's plausible because I'm not from around here. I have no augmentations of any type.
But you're magically immune. You can potentially make it look as though you do.
But then again, they all
Well, surely you
know
know
about
disguise self.
There are ways to manipulate magic to look different, yes. But who's to say augmentations of the eyes cannot view different points or to seek me out?
But they only knew there
Is-
was 5 of us that came here.
They're magically inclined, aren't they?
Couldn't you do a modified detect magic?
I've tried.
And then based on how many
Some,
pings you get, you should be
the
able to
newer
detect
ones, will X out my magic.
I mean, there was
They're
that.
evolving.
Well, there's the one with the ears
Some
that
are
can understand all languages.
very susceptible to the anti-magics. So certain magics that can counteract others could possibly put it in a unconscious state.
Couldn't. I don't know. This is
Because they are
potentially
powered by magic.
This is a potentially stupid statement, but couldn't you just pretend you're from the stars like he is?
I could.
Wouldn't these doctors have records? Well, most doctors are meticulous record keepers.
As we were told earlier.
When we
So
were in
ask
there, I
them.
didn't see any documentation. It had to be all mentally kept.
So,
Many records of other stuff was kept in that pyramid.
It's okay.
well, you could pose a group. You could ask the shamans who they've worked on that has the most augmentations. You would at least curate a shorter list.
This is a fair point.
And most of them were right here.
But that might raise suspicion in itself to conduct a mass check.
He needs to check the
Not-
health of them before he conducts what they ask of him, so he can make sure it's more successful.
Not if we say we are attempting to look into assisting the Sultan.
Again,
If-
too many variables.
If we pose it as a health, more of a health
The
inquiry,
biggest thing is
then
your goal that they want is to fix it. Perhaps you need to fix it by needing to see the whims of the people, how they're doing, as well as the Sultan, to know how much of it needs fixed. It's not just a flick of the wrist and it's done. You need to know how much to maintenance it.
But if he's going around asking to do a wellness check, trying to understand it, that's going to be a red flag to some people that think of this as a religion.
I should already have the answers.
Correct. He sure should know how these work, how this is manipulated, how to work the stone, how to work the ore, how to infuse this magic. He doesn't. It was the Grells that. So they are going to deem him, if he lies too much, able to blaspheme along with you. You will be with heretics, and who knows the extent of this.
What if I ask for a grill of my own and bring it to you?
It's dangerous. If you don't have any augmentations, you need one.
I'm not meaning to augment myself.
Well, how are you going to control the Grell?
Listen,
Like you keep on repeating, there are too many variables.
do you require the grill? Simple yes or no. Do you physically think you require the
No.
grill?
honestly, I think we need more information. The pyramid might, unfortunately,
Pyramid
be our
might
best
uncover most of the hidden texts of the ancients that had been here.
in which case you would know what information you need and how to control the
But it
Grells.
won't hurt to check on the Sultan to see roughly how many he has versus a
A
young
random
boy
person.
or girl who yes, educated, an educated guess of what it was the limitation, per se, before this sickness takes hold.
There might be an easier way to do it. We already know that the Sultan has the markings of this sickness on his skin. We look for others that have it.
Depends on how many augmentations they have. I think it's based on a number of how many. Versus having one or two. You might not show the
And the Sultan by far has the most.
As you said, only 40% of his physical flesh remains. So we have a good baseline number.
Well,
Well, we need to know the max. Roughly.
That might even be too far.
Well, no, if we know how many he has, we know that that's the max that you should have. That would be the limitations before the sickness goes. So I would go one or two under. And that would, or it would be a trial by error by then to see exactly how many augmentations you can have within you before this rejection starts.
Could it also depend on the person? How healthy they are.
what we need is to arrange in a private meeting him and his aides. They would know his condition best. But if I could get a look at him myself, physically.
I think we can do that. If
he knows he's sick.
anybody likes telling their stories, and they said he's a warrior, we could ask what brought about each time he got augmented. I'm sure he would tell us. We can keep track of how many he's had done to him. Is that a...
It sounds like a plan to me.
And if we pose it as wanting to help, potentially looking into his health matters,
I mean, I don't
shouldn't be that big of a problem.
I don't think it is really lying if we are really willing to help him. If it is a symbiotic relationship, if it's nothing that he's doing chaotically, then we're not lying.
Well, I'm looking to see what exactly he all has wrong and what might be mendable on him. It's poisoning literally the biological part of his body, and I don't know how much time he has left.
I understand. I was merely correcting when you said we pose. Posing usually requires us to lie when we pose as something, which is why men, we aren't really lying or posing as anything. We are, if you are really wanting to help him and understand this, we do want to go to the pyramids and figure this out. We are probably going after that massive grell.
I don't think we have a choice in the matter of
We
that.
have to take it to the scrapyard. There may be no going around it. Unless someone with that. You said to control a grell, not an implant, but just control it, you need an augmentation?
Roughly.
What if...
Usually the grow is, like you said, the battery. So they go one in the same.
Has anyone...
You
What
think
if
what I'm thinking?
the giant grell...
Probably not.
This could be
But-
very far-fetched. Could it be, or used to have been controlled by another before it went mad?
Has anyone definitively touched
I don't think,
the grounds?
but I think itself Based off the eye
I don't
That's
know if
within
I
the
would be poisoning
house.
them or not.
that controls all
I
the
could make the
drones
problem worse
of this.
instead of making it better.
They are connected to it. Those who have augmentations can get one of their own. But the mass of them can be controlled through that device.
And who controls the eye?
Well, it will be the head security officer.
So if you control the eye, you control.
All of them, yes, to keep tabs on them, but they do a service. Drones help with everyday work, and they help keep people alive, both with medicine capabilities.
Well, if
I haven't seen one yet that the first augmentation goes strangely and wrongly awry. I haven't seen that happen.
And I'm sure us outsiders, even if we asked, we probably would not be told because it would destroy us, or it's not our business. But
Have you tried to put any divinity toward it? See how it reacts?
My magics are waning. So a simple thing like that could cause a wild aspect to form. My magic itself is wild by nature.
Very well.
Don't I know?
there's nothing wrong with nature.
That is a metaphor. Dear one, it is wild, no matter what.
Well, if there's no other conclusions or theories, perhaps we start with the first thing and work our way towards the pyramid. If we're wanting to check on Sultan, I would probably say either now, since everybody's partying, or we wait till the next day.
It depends on how you want to go about it. I see. From what I see between the collectiveness of this group is that there are two paths. Check on the Sultan, determine how many he has, and see if you can maybe correct it. But that's going to deem you as a blasphemer should you fail or get it wrong. Or you can come back and check on him after you've checked out the pyramids and get more knowledge.
The old saying, knowledge is power. I say we go to the pyramids first.
Unless you're more deceptive, and you can persuade your way through. If you're gifted the silver tongue, a different story. You might be able to fool anybody. At least the person of your station. But once the ruse is up,
Then that's
when the chaos will come. They might not know or deem you as heretics.
well, they expect us to go to the pyramid anyway to fix it. So perhaps a rest up and a travel to the pyramid.
I merely wish to gauge how much time he has left. If he passes while we're gone, they might deem us blasphemers
We
anyway.
don't know. That's the problem.
And you
The
being
only way to know that, possibly, is to study the girl that's within him. And now as he's putting his body into that suspended animation, but with him being as sick as he is, removing it might kill him.
He's
Don't
lived
wish to remove it.
he's lived this long. What's another day?
He
You
is
say
correct.
that and he dies.
I don't think he's life-threatening yet.
He's walking that fine line towards it, but
so we have a time limit.
What do you mean he's walking the fine line towards it?
The girl's about to take over.
The girl is killing him, not taking over. The girl does not mind control him. Does not turn them into the mind flayers, as it were.
Yeah,
It is almost
If
like
the host dies, the Grell continues. It's just remade.
Okay. Above table, I thought you said that he's remade, kind of like into like the Grell like fully takes over. Like that's why.
No, it's more like Alien. Like
Spawning
the movie,
ground.
like the movie Alien, they spawn out
Oh, okay.
Ew, gross.
of it. So
Gotcha.
it is possible that for each augmentation spawns a new one. Hence why there are so many Krells around. And why they can be moved to the main eye, as it were, as the main control part of the city. That's the key here. Because each augmentation spawn one. I said I think the answer is more lie within the pyramids first. Smart, the academic, is to follow knowledge as power. And then going to the source with the evidence to say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Or to have a limitation on these augmentations to live free. But then can cause more things to happen. If you change it and fix it, then you are deemed God in their eyes. They might as well hand over the title of Sultan to you. If not, you will be the godchild of your star people who have ushered them into a new era.
I am just a ranger well adapted to shadow.
Nell's not trying to become a barbarian.
Above table, yeah, I don't want another frickin'
I'm a god, here's a gift. I'm another god, here's a gift.
So okay, above tables, they're not gonna you're not gonna be a god.
They're
gonna
low.
title you as.
They
Yeah.
don't think of you as like a godchild.
You're not gonna be divinity. They're just gonna think you are. So it depends on how well now.
You're just gonna get a bunch of attention.
Well, no, not just that, but how much does Nail want for a home? Or to be a leader of a place, to be a king, to be a governing body over thousands of people.
Thousands of doors.
And say, Oleg's hiding with his hood up.
You don't want the attention, but believe you found it. And it could be a better calling. You know, your ancients, the one that found you, God of life and death. Is it possible this is the rebirth that is longing? And will you be a reborn star in their eyes?
What may come, let it.
Off to the pyramids we go.
We made a promise to these people.
I made no such thing, so I
I wasn't referring to you, good sir. The five of us made a promise to these people. Let's do our damnedest.
Do we turn in for the night and then head first light? First sun? However it works here.
We wait until they wake us up.
I think we'll have our morning meal, and then when they ask us what we wish to do, I think
We
that
did.
they might send warriors with us.
To kind of keep at least the worms at bay.
I don't want to get eaten.
I have a boat.
You have a boat that goes on the sand.
I have a boat that levitates.
It's a flying boat.
So they worms would have
Really?
sense of that unless they are out of the sand.
I really don't want to get eaten.
It's okay. We'll take care of it for you.
Well, we could fly this time.
I know.
We just didn't know to fly last time.
But who knows what other dangers await?
This is true.
Was there anything else? You want to speak to your friend for a while again, I assume?
I want to get back into my normal clothing.
I'm pretty sure you don't have any more of those, that green drink.
I second that notion greatly.
Nothing smells better than
Fizbit.
sweating in leather.
Fizbit, and I take it that there's some sort of draconic magic here that's also brought you here too. Not just what's going on with.
There's an old friend I'd like to see. But I am curious.
Is there a dragon in one of these barrels?
Why follow the hunt? Why be a new foe? What made the change? Why the change? You don't need to answer if you don't want to. I know that there are people around. But if you want to talk more privately, I'll still be here.
Oh, I don't
Stars
judge.
are beautiful tonight.
You want to talk to your friend? Go ahead. I will speak to Istik about our sleeping arrangements.
This is I feel like this might be a conversation for later.
Well, there might not be a lake
Right.
if you go out into the desert.
I didn't mean that later.
He means like later tonight, away from us.
Well, probably we can make that happen.
We'll say this. One of my adventurers kind of sparked it.
I'm just curious into why. And possibly what you hope to gain from it. That's what I question. But go find your sleeping arrangements. I'll be out here. Said I don't think the sky is going to turn anytime soon.
That's fine.
Well, I look for our Istik.
She's drunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Offer.
That's my fault.
We might have a better chance of
Did you leave
flagging
the bottle
down
with her?
Oh fuck.
She
yep.
took it. She took it. Remember?
Yeah, she took
gave
the
it
bottle.
to the court
And he
jester,
did not want
and
it
then
back
just, like,
after where it
I'm
went.
going
I
to
don't-
say,
Yeah, we don't touch.
It
We don't want
touched
that one.
the man's booty lips.
as you guys leave and head back and rejoin the house, the first thing you see is a bunch of ah and moves of the Isik taking that bottle and doing way more than what is to be done.
Oh dear God.
I'm gonna put you this
Was
way.
this
'cause
pirate
I'm
rating?
not going to fully describe this, but I will say that she is butt ass naked. In any orifices this bottle's going.
I was going to say one man, one jar.
She is
During
performing a
Pride
cartwheel, and every part of her spin is fire.
Oh no! How much
You're
of that
never
bottle
gonna
is
get it.
left?
There ain't
The
nothing
bottle's
left.
gone.
The bottle.
Ryo, you can have your
gone.
bottle back now. I'm pretty
Nope.
sure you can keep it as a souvenir. for
Nope, I'm
travels.
good. They can keep it.
I'm sure you could bottle that
You
up and
might
sell it
wanna-
somewhere.
You
might
have
wanna
made some
hide.
interesting friends.
I need bleach.
That's a t-shirt right there.
There is not enough
Just
to get
holding-
that off of your
just holding
mind.
the book. No, I need bleach. That's
I can see Bones just taking sand and going.
I can't get the image out of my eyes!
Better now.
Prestidigitation isn't going to fix this.
Bleach and prestidigitation cannot fix that for you.
Yeah, but don't ask her about our sleeping arrangements right now.
Nope.
I do believe there is an ointment for that ishtik.
She's having way too much.
I am not healing
Because
that.
she is performing.
I heal that.
Frank, I think that's a good place to call on for a break.
I will say this.
Check, please.
I will say this.
I am writing that down.
Once it calms down, you find somebody.
A different ishtik.
Yeah, okay, well, you find
My
either A,
ishtik's
a different
broken, I
order,
need a nurse stick.
Or better.
I have one.
My
For the
stick's
sake-
on fire.
I'll say better for the sake. The queen is there. So, you ask if there are any accommodations around either the palace or within that you could possibly stay for the night before you venture out to the pyramids tomorrow morning. So, she does have room here because she wasn't going to let this one leave the palace.
Mostly for safety reasons.
Don't cartwheel and fly your rock home.
So,
I need my rod of security.
she directs and gives a growl command
Actually.
that takes you to one tower within the palace. That is only for them. That is their living quarters where the three originally stayed. Nobody touches it. Nobody goes in. Nobody goes out other than the three chosen. So that grill goes through there, and it is a biometric lock that this grill can do. And this is an older one. This has a lot of battle scars on it. It leads you up to the tower, unlocks it for you, and does not go in, but just stares at it with this magic door that opens.
Visually, okay, I'm gonna sound really stupid unless you already explained this. What does this thing actually look like? Look like an automaton?
Yeah. They are like the Matrix squids,
The Sentinels.
the Sentinels.
Okay.
So in hindsight,
I think you showed us
a
this
smaller
before.
version of that.
Yeah, okay, I remember now.
So just to
yep.
make it like there,
I
a
forgot.
smaller version of this.
Show the people.
Just in case.
A little bit smaller than that.
It's a smaller version of it. That one is more of a like medium sized or a smaller version of it, which are the drones.
And
These
there's the big
guys
boy.
will, yeah, this is what they do. So this is what happens for that piece of nature. So again, this door materializes, like the stone melds away, and this is what happens. And it produces this archway to go through. So the tower is yours.
We're
You
the
guys
original three.
can each, yeah. So if you guys wish to explore that, cool. I was more focused on doing this conversation first.
Okay.
At least you know where your
Yeah, that's.
living station is. And when you guys want to explore that, yes. But because of this little conversation that Fizbin and Riley were going to have, that's where I wanted to do that before you guys
Gotcha.
explore. There's a lot of shit going on.
I figured.
That's right. So, with you guys finding your quarters and starting the exploration of this, maybe there's some insight to the three that were originally here who made this. Cinematically, Ryan sneaks away and goes back and leaves the tower. Comes back into the banquet, which is still going on. These guys know how to party.
Well, it's gonna go all night.
Yes.
She did.
But you find your way out into the plateau, the balcony that oversees this starscape and the beautiful nightscape. Even with that, there are lights, or there are windows within this tower. And what's the cool part is now seeing it at nighttime and these ghost lights dancing, this purple hue that's engulfing the land. It's like walking out in a field of fireflies. That's what it looks like in a desert sand with trees and glistening water in the back. It goes on and on and on, and you see spaced out from being high up in this tower that there are more lights that are not more string, it's not clustered, but out past horizons that you can see in this night. That there are other ghost lights in the distance, thinking maybe this is a bunker, this is a hermit living out there. But this is the cluster of most of it. But looking at it just looks from high up in this tower, because this tower is high up, it looks like a moon in the sand. A crescent moon in the sand. You guys are that high. And that's when we'll take our break with Ryu reaching out into the balcony and meeting his long friend. And that's when we'll take a break. See you guys here in a little bit.
What kind of knowledge can Ryo gain?
Hey everyone, Jonathan here from the D20Misfits, also known as Viking. I've got a sponsor today that I'd really like to give a shout out to. Dubby. I'm a hardcore energy drink user. I'll do 2, 3 energy drinks a day. This stuff, let's cut that out. If you're interested, go to w.com and on checkout use our code D20Misfits10 to get 10% off. Again, Dubby, well done.
an old friend.
And welcome back. So, with the group exploring this tower that had the three, we're going to turn our gaze to Ryan. Back at the balcony talking to an old friend. So, what I would ask is everybody but Ryan leave today.
You couldn't have done this!
I knew he was going to pull this.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all.
Goodbye, everyone.
Therapy.
They'll remember you all in therapy.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hold on, I'm bringing you snacks.
Think about when we get to it. It's honestly going to go far. I have to go to the bathroom again.
Again?
Far is the word. Well, around where I'm
Thank you.
Never mind. Need these.
Yes.
Alright.
Gonna give you show and tell.
Y'all heard that, right?
Yep, I heard.
Frank, I know you did. I don't know if they heard it.
I was trying to figure out what that was.
That was the excited squeal of a bird.
Anyway. Lean back over. Coming to this balcony, as it were. And there he stands.
Starting to see why you like it out here.
It's quite a sight. I haven't seen these constellations before. It's new. Or have I seen them before?
It's new to me.
But I'm more interested in why you've chosen to follow the Platinum Dragon now. Why the change? What are you trying to gain from it?
Gain. There's nothing. Following Muhammad, there's nothing I can think of to gain, other than learn from his teachings. The change, I can give you a little more of a straightforward answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I met you in the tavern, in the last world we were at, my friends and I had that ancient dragon I told you about. No, do you remember that one we were talking about?
Yes.
The one that turned into a Draco Lich. Well, after a pretty taxing fight, the matron showed up. Gave us two options. One was to understand the books of Grievous. So we went into the first book and saw the fight. Which sounded like the better option than just sitting in the void. So as we went through, there was a point in time where we got to a certain door. And it was one of those moments I had a decision to make. Did I go off the teachings I already knew, which are the ones that you had known me for at the longest time, and which was follow all the way of the hunt, or follow the way of justice? That was the start of the tipping scale. That pushed me into this pathway. and that's what started it. And for some reason, I was the only one that could see what was truly going on at that time. I don't know if my friends had that choice of follow what they knew, or follow a path that was different to them. So far, or following up, I guess you could say, getting out of my comfort zone is what has led me up to this point. At least in recent days. As what to gain, aside from his teachings, my goal's still the same.
Well, if your goal hasn't changed or faltered, why choose a different God to follow? If nothing is changing here, and this is still the same, why switch what patron you follow?
It was one of those gut feelings that something that said this was the right way to go. That this was going to, I shouldn't say make the path easier, but with one less mountain to climb. To make things seem a little more clear to me.
So taking the path of Bahamut will give you a sense of clarity?
In a sense.
To what end? It seems that you haven't figured out what path to follow still.
That I'm still working on. As you know, I'm a new follower, so still learning the tenets of Bahamut.
I understand that, but the biggest thing is the switch. If you haven't changed your goal, why change the patron? Why not stay with the hunt? Or stay with the wild mother? Why choose the Lord of the Skies and King of all dragons? Or Father of them all? Why choose him and waver from the other?
Maybe it was because we were met at with an unjust mean, and it's this is the justice is bringing them back.
What justice will that be? Revenge?
Revenge is not ever the answer. I've
Revenge
learned that
is-
the hard.
Revenge is not his teaching. Law and justice, the light of truth, is to seek it out, not have it bend to your will to seek out your own personal justice. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But why give in to him? What made him the chosen?
Like I said, Ed, that decision at the door is what had started it all.
Yes, but it sounds like it's confusing.
Well, I shouldn't just say that decision at the door. Voice in my head at that time also was trying to help guide me. Gave me an insight to each side of not exactly going full detail, but saying you could do this, but you could do this. There's two options you have here. You
You're
have
sounding
practice.
familiar to another wayward soul that chose Bahamut and then went astray. You're being the his counterpart is the truth. The true essence of Bahamut and how he is.
Is that why he's giving me such a rough time?
Because you don't know. You're not seeing the light of truth that Bahamut brings. Not the justice that is the part of it, but to seeking out the actual truth of things. He is seeing that, he is following that light. Because he's seeking truth, truth of himself. He now saw the error of his ways back in the past. Now he chooses to stay on the truth, the light, not waver in darkness and shadow, but to stay within the light and be the champion that is requested of him.
I feel that's my other friend who is currently studying with him. Yeah, that was an interesting little moment.
Would that be the Red Dragon Bone?
Yes, Zarkon.
Oh, I know. So you wish to stay true to Bahamut and to his teachings? And you wish to follow a different path?
As I said, I feel that all this is the path I'm supposed to be on, but I just haven't fully grasped.
You haven't fully grasped anything yet, but you need to.
Maybe that's part of the reason we got sent here.
Yes. Could be. Could be Bahamut is guiding you to come here, to be a part of this, to show the light of truth within us, which is discovered now.
And the only way to find the truth is to go to the pyramids.
Yes.
Only time will tell.
Or do you wish to have your pack? Are you sealing your fate with Bahamut and to his teachings of light and truth?
I am. Text too small, all for Frank to get it on a full shot.
No.
Something you're sending me?
Yes.
Text or messenger?
Text.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Then take up arms, take a knee, and recite his prayer.
Wait a second here, Frank, because I gotta zoom in on it and try to get it a little less blurred.
No,
So you're good. It's just taking a good. It's doing that download moment. So yells down. I lift up your name, O first of dragons, and pray to uphold your sacred charge. Let me protect those around me as your wing holds us. Let me seek for truth as your eyes watch over us. Let me strike against wickedness as your talons defend us. Let me resist temptation and falseness as your heart guides us. I lift up your name, O first of dragons, and pray to uphold the sacred charge.
When you look up, no longer Fizbin is there. But said a full knight, clad in platinum armor, sword and shield. I am Paladine, truth bringer and law bearer. I am the winged dragon. I am the father of all dragons. You seek my charge. Then let it be. Bring my light of truth. Be the law bringer, the truth seeker. And hold up your end of it, or I will strike you down. And all the gifts that I have given you will be gone. I am Bahamut. I am Paladine. And reverts back. I am also Fizbin, the Fabulous. Yes, child. I have been with you, guiding you from the beginning.
And this look of just shock and confusion. Like that all. She mean to tell me.
Yes.
The one that I've been going to bars and traveling around
Yes.
been drinking with a god all this time.
Yes.
Explains why you drink me under the table every time. You sneaky.
No. I don't sneak. I just showed you the truth. You had to walk these steps. You had to find it in your heart what you wanted. I can only influence you. I can't tell you to be mine. I can't go out and seek. I already have champions for me.
I'm fully aware of. I've got the chance to meet one of your champions.
There are two in the same.
Correction. And I've met
You met the pair.
Valverix, and now we have
Satori. Gugriva's Satori is the first. When he fell and broke and led to darkness because the god of whispers wanted his attention, I had to seek out the counter to that light, to that darkness, and Valverix answered my call. Now that he is free, thanks to the love of you, I have my champion back. But I can't tell within this battle to come what is to happen. So, whether you aid him or aid the other, whatever she decides, whatever fate decides, is what happens. At least now you know the real the truth in this one. Let this be your test of faith. Bring truth and law to this. As if I were that. Be my voice. Be my eyes. Be my heart. Be the scales.
I think it's fitting that we named ourselves the Scales. For more than just
The normal means of what's supposed to be, yes. But you know the truth now of this world, of the people. Bring the law and truth in. Destroy the darkness that lies and all the other terrible false truths that they bring. Rectify it. Help the Star Child fix it.
he stands and just glances out towards the pyramids.
Waver, and even in my wrath. I gave you the gifts to rebuild the valley. Abuse them for revenge, or for your own personal justice, and they will be removed.
Understood.
Good. I have the harsh truth, and I have to bring it. That's why I need to know where your heart lies.
As I said, I'm still learning, but if this is my first task, then
This is your test of faith. If you truly want to follow me, then do what is requested.
the truth is hidden away over in that pyramid.
Uncover it, seek it out, and then bring the law down upon it.
I understand.
From this point forward, you follow my teachings to the letter. You will remain a drake warden of the valley. Falter, abuse it, and you will no longer be a wanderer. I gave you this path because I saw the potential, the hatred, the truth that you wanted to bring down upon it. The fire that burned inside to reconcile the laws of the valley. Falter. You will no longer be a drake warden of the valley. You will just be a wanderer of it.
I understand.
Then my task is done. You see Fizbin waves the staff around, and it looks like a shooting star happens from his point and goes out into the stars. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the people back.
So while you're doing that, I wonder what Front and Fizbin had to go see here, or if it was just me.
Who knows?
Time will tell. Usually, if it's somebody that dealt well with Fizbin, I meet them eventually.
There could have been another.
It's what? Foreshadowing.
Who knows? You might see a brush dragon.
Possibly.
But now you know the harsh truth of what lies. Harsh.
have been summoned.
I'm gonna have respect in my head now.
Oh. What secrets have been spilled, precious? If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
There's a sacrifice I am willing
Listen,
to
you
take.
know my uncle that works in the NSA? He ain't got shit.
He can't bring your character back, bro. Maybe he can't. I don't know.
How many,
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
That's why I put the finger guns at the thing. I was like, I'm back.
The power of editing.
I figured we were. So, you know.
Why isn't it paused?
Good. It's real time right now,
Because
bro.
I told you to all come back.
We're all making it back.
Wait,
in-game.
where's...
Listen, Amari had to go to the little girl's room in the tower, and she had to find it. You know,
Oh,
Amari
she had
just
to go to
find a restroom for those peoples. She's looking. There she is. She came back. Look at that. She found the restroom, and Amari's coming back to the tower.
Yeah.
Maybe she went to the restroom, wherever that was.
Alright, this is gonna be nuts.
What? What?
You drive me nuts. But
The fuck were you doing? You
I
touching
mean,
my
if you-
gay?
If
What
you,
you doing?
You had
if
it
you find a
back.
wagon,
You
he
had-
might. He's done that once with someone else, so, you know. You found a nice wagon.
I forgot about that. Thanks for bringing that dark memory back. Oh, God.
sure,
So-
that's all I gotta say.
What I'll say to this is that as you guys were looking and watching the cityscape, as you're about to turn your gaze and start to explore this tower, you see another shooting star.
If you wish upon a star, then your dreams won't be so far. Go and kill the
But
crow.
it's reversed.
Yeah.
It came from close and went far away.
Nice, nice.
So, as you guys, how do you guys want to explore this tower?
Like the Schmooby gang.
What?
Like the Schmooby gang. Trademark, man. No, it's oof waggy.
Anyway,
We got the
Whoop
bird here.
waggy.
Sorry. Caw, Nell.
so what information would you like?
That is a very broad question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Exploring this tower, what is it that you wish to seek out?
We're going broad strokes.
First and foremost, I want to know if there's art on the walls
Yes.
depicting
No.
their story.
So, okay. So there are strange things within this tower. There are paintings and pictures of a vast ship out in the astral sea, of an intertwine of two dragons, one of a reddish hue and one of a whitish hue, as depicting the solar and lunar dragons. The three are shown at the helm of the ship, with the two dragons standing beside them. There is no record or depiction of the stories, like in the paintings, that say that they've landed here or any of that. It's more remembrance of home. One in particular is just a portrait of a certain constellation. That of the twin dragons. That is to be the followed of where the North Star is. Of how to find the ways to let the lunar and solar dragons guide your way. Kind of like a big bear and little bear, but where they intertwine at the tails is where the North Star is. To find your way up. Or at least find the central hub of the astral sea.
I want to roll an investigation with this penis.
I'm gonna go look around like the resting area, see if there's like any mementos or any like papers or writings.
You're 25, 19 plus 6.
Okay.
It does a 21.
I'm looking for things that don't belong or...
Nothing belongs here.
I know that. Kind of national treasuring it.
Secret tunnel in the tower.
Yeah, you're gonna have a tunnel, all of a sudden it just opens up and there's a sky and a tunnel forms. Skywalk.
I was gonna say Starbridge, but
Because leaning on his background,
Yeah.
the search for knowledge.
Okay. So you're trying to find the truth of like what? Like the stars or
He has a feeling that there's something hidden.
okay.
Because this wall that they're on, is there... You said everything's out of place, but do they look even more out of place than what is
Like
here?
how they're positioned, you mean?
Yeah. Things like that.
No, it's mainly. I mean, it looks like the background is like off the ship. There are certain ones that are smaller that are on the desert. You know, one in particular is a thick frame that catches your eye. And it's too thick for a normal picture or painting or something of that nature. So when you pick it up, there is an alcove, very small, but it's dark, littered with webs and dust.
Dark vision of 150 feet.
There's something in there.
It's a body.
Question is, do you reach your hand?
Yes.
What you pull out are a pair of dusty manuals. They're bonds. You can clearly see in the center and where the cuffs link have been broken. A hidden reminder of where they once came from. To give them the humility that they are not gods. That they are just survivors trying to make a place better.
Was there any inscriptions and...
It's you can see that there are carvings of stars and moons and suns throughout it, just as a signature of where it was, but it was kept hidden. Like nobody wanted the truth. They didn't want people to know the truth. They were servants to a master. Now they are masters. of this place. So, basically, that's what it is.
Okay.
As far as writing or mementos that we're looking for, there is one that really catches your eye. And it is encased within glass.
What does it look?
A ornate pair of manos, but no chains, just the wrist bracelets.
Is there a way to like figure out? I'm probably not. Whose room is whose? Just by like decoration.
Distinctively,
Or they all look the same.
you kind of can.
Like this room. Like whose room was this?
Within the tower, there is one that points towards the pyramids. Now that is the view. Remembering where they came from. Now a lot of stuff here is feather oriented. So this is one of the rooms.
Is that the one with the glass case?
Yes.
And did I? Is it? I know I went through this one. Did I check the other two rooms? And there was nothing else.
Well, each room has its own distinctive thing. One is looks like it's offshoot of the tower, like it was an addition built, and it doesn't have a window. The window's on the ceiling. The whole ceiling is glass.
Oh.
And you see a lot of tattered up books or pictures of like what a Morris penny looks like. But it's altered, it's different. The symbol is that of a sun with an eye in the middle.
Raw.
So that's, there are stuff, there is a lot of stuff to go through, but most of this is too worn or torn to even remotely try to make anything out of it. It's almost like if you touch it, you feel like it's going to
gonna fall apart,
disintegrate,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it took force to pry that door open. So there was some type of vacuum that came in. Either was the sun's beating down through the glass that created this vacuum, this heat vacuum type ordeal, but it took force and you felt that cold breeze come in because it was muggy as all hell. But now it's like if you touch something, moisture now is activated within this room. Some of the stuff will easily crumble. But that's the biggest thing is that, that glass ceiling. The other one's more down from the others, and it has an overview of mostly the window. It depicts the whole scape of everything, especially the oasis part. And it has a telescope that's affixed to it as well, to where you can see if you when you train and look through it, after you clear the dust and debris away from it and loosen it free, that was affixed to where the rocks are. That these rocks, with the knowledge of these guys, learned how to tame them. Learned how to take a natural predator of a dragon and use it as an ally. So, a lot of stuff here has jackal-like essence to it. But seeing how it's affixed to it, how to take something that was an enemy, that was a bringer of death to a dragon, and turn it into a salvation, is the following of life and death. So, pretty much determined this is weaknesses.
Yes. And to follow up, like how he's said, is there anything actually on the walls, or are they just like blank? They have nothing really added to
There
them?
are ornate stuff like, like depictions of each room of like jackals
To
and
show
stars.
who they are and their thing.
Yeah, they have their own little like agenda, as it were, their own little theme. Like for the one that has the glass, it's more of like the bedding and stuff like that. It's more of a white wood or a white metal-esque thing. More red and whites and golds or roswell versus Anubis, which is more of a blacker tone to it. And then Horus is more of the blues, hues to, of that, and have the symbols of stars and eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
Each one to that. To determine which one was Horus.
You said there's star charts like in every room.
Mm-hmm.
I want to copy them.
Okay.
Having been through the Astral Sea and all that, I wonder if they point to something. Would that be a survival?
That or nature.
Survival it is. 22. 15 plus 7. But taking each chart there and turning it into one piece.
Like a puzzle.
Yes.
It is a star map, and it's recognizable too. You thought it was a myth. But Xanatar is real. Your home is real. There was a home that housed the astral elves. It was a myth, a fairy tale, a paradise, a mythological thing. Vikings have Valhalla, you have Xanatar. Where stars are formed and born. It is a real place. It's past the Citadel. Northeast of the Radiant Citadel.
Do I need a bigger ship?
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess after you guys are done exploring, he's saying that out loud, sitting in the middle of the floor. All these star charts he's copied from the murals and everything.
What's with the arts and crafts? That looks interesting.
The home is real.
Home is, yes, home's always real.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican.
No. Where my people come from. Our physical world is real.
You didn't know where you...
It's been lost to the ages.
Would I be able to follow the star chart based on how he's laid it out? Okay.
Yeah, but what's the weird part about it is through the studies of teachings of you,
Mm-hmm.
Xanatar was destroyed. It was the only city built within a star. And tales were told that the star combusted. Hence destroying it.
So either we were told that specifically, or he just doesn't know that information.
Those were the teachings that you had when you were in the school academy.
So it could be both. It could be the story.
Scholars of ancient history with that was, it was a close ally to them.
Yeah.
But whatever happened is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
There is no full chronicalization of what technically conspired. The only thing is that the city within a star was destroyed, whether it be through the star exploding or splitting or dying out. But there once was a city brighter than the citadel.
They waged war on it to destroy it because of its beauty.
The jealous.
Are we from different points in time then? Or is this just something that was...
I mean, you guys are all older in different ways than each other, but you're not from different timelines or from different points in time. You're all within this is all within the same time essence. It's just he thought he knows his place is a myth. You know
it to be a real place.
The
I
knowledge
just
I'm
didn't know
discovering-
he was looking for it.
Correct.
Okay.
You know more of the history that it was destroyed. He knows from childhood that this was a myth.
Oh. Okay.
From history, you gather that this city in the star was an ally in your ancient histories, but it was destroyed at some point in time. You don't know when or why, but there are so many other theories of what happened.
There are many variables to it.
Have you been searching for Xanathar?
Every astral elf I have encountered has been searching for.
It was destroyed a long time ago. Did you not know where it was?
It doesn't matter if it's destroyed.
It's knowing that a place
Knowing
where
that it
came from.
existed in itself.
It was our ally.
Our people are old. We are from the stars, you and I. The cosmos is ever expanding. This may not be accurate anymore, but to know that it was an actual place.
This would probably be good to share the knowledge of.
One less secret the universe has to hold.
Will you share it with your people?
If I come across one, yes.
Some good news we found from your circle.
That's 2 secrets hidden here. I'm sure there's more.
What did you roll for your, did I have you roll for putting the stars, the maps together?
Survival, yeah.
What did you roll?
25.
When you put it up, when you see that initial point of where it is, there is something else that's weird about it. These maps look, you can tell they're faint. With that roll, there are creases in it. Looks like it is folded up into something different.
The ones that hang on the wall.
You took down and
No, I drew out.
Oh, you drew them out? Okay, the maps themselves look like they were creased at one point in time to form something else.
You could probably,
How many are there?
you could probably mimic the creases.
Would that be a performance to fold them in the same way?
No.
No.
That's more of how delicate you can be with it.
So dexterity?
Do you want help?
Sure, I can roll with advantage.
Well, I was like, do you want me to help you grab the stuff off the walls and put it in a...
I was thinking he was gonna mimic the crease on the map that he made. He already drew them. As long as you can mimic the way the creases are.
Well, some of them... I mean, you know how when you fold a piece of paper a certain way and then you fold it back the other way, fold it a different way? Sometimes you have to, physically feel which way it turned in order for you to remember how it goes. So I wasn't sure if he had to take them down to feel it, or...
I'm just trying to mimic them. Don't I get anything off of your aura for skill checks?
No.
No.
That saves.
No, but Draco's still there.
You get advantage against spells or magical effects.
No,
but that's fine.
The folding without ripping or to see.
In this case, give the command stay put.
Dirty 20, 15 plus 5.
It's not the creases that are folded. It's when it was folded, the stars lined, made an item out of it. When the stars were folded over, it looks as if it made its own constellation. The starburst. And as you piece each one and fold each map inward to create that alignment, the stars get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter on that map. As right now, it is so bright that it blinds you like a burst of sun. Like the cosmos exploding. Quickly you get a vision of white gold city. As the sun hits, it radiates in a white city of marble, of stone, of stars. At night it is almost invisible. See-through as if you were walking on stars themselves. You're home. And as it stops, and as the maps start to converge on each other, to where it holds in the center that burst, that star, and crystallizes.
Picking it up.
You hold an ancient relic, the key to home, the starlight crystal.
Say this is about the time I walk back in, Frank.
Yes. And you can search for it because it is in the
Well, that was interesting.
Now I knew you wanted to get enlightened, but I didn't think that was the way to go.
You just walked in, you just saw the crisscross thing, not the...
Yeah, it's just
And
bright.
coming up the stairs, you're gonna see a bright light.
You see it?
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Do I want to know?
While wearing it has 3 charges. Each charge can attune a magic item.
Jesus Christ!
So technically,
Okay.
by default, with him having that, he can attune up to 6 magic items.
Oh, nice.
Requires attunement by a cleric.
No, you don't.
He's like, I'm just gonna give it to you.
This is the key to home. Because without it, you cannot reach your way.
Sorry, the gays were getting a little salty.
But yes, that is. It has 2 functions. One, if it's plugged into a astral ship, it will find out. It's like a GPS key.
Gonna need a bigger ship.
It's like on Thor Ragnarok, and you have all the astral elves, and it's like, we're going home.
It's not going to auto steer. It just it glows brighter the direction you are to it. So you can find home with that.
So who wants to be pirates?
Oh no, what?
We going
What?
for the 2-piece? So the
What
1-piece?
did I miss?
Things and stuff and things. We've missed things as well, sir.
Things that I knew and thought to be widely known apparently was not the case.
So now even your knowledge that maybe it is still
Well, I
a
mean,
thing.
I wouldn't think it would just disappear. I would just think it'd probably be more of like a ruin. But, you know, it could turn into like one of those like Guardians of the Galaxy, like the head.
No,
You turn into one of those things.
no. It is
No.
not the nothing.
Nope. Alright.
No, literally a city
People have not invaded.
that is made out of crystal
Mm-hmm.
that when the sun, when the main sun of the universe hits it, it's completely white gold type aspect to it. So just take Gondor and rank it and bump it up hard, like with Asgard type settings. Because that's what it is. It's just white, but at night it's almost invisible. You can't see. Those who know of it know how to
Find it.
So it's
Well, we have found some delightful information. But
What do you do with the order? Did you with those things? Did you?
the manacles?
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Did you
gonna.
do anything? Did you just kept them in the glass when you were looking at it?
I was gonna let him know. Do with what he would. These are his people. So, there is one thing I did find. Only one. I'd recommend not touching the books or anything with paper in the room, or they might go. But I found a glass case holding an ornate pair of manacles in the glass case. Not sure if that's of meaning or if they were contained in there and have magic to them, or I don't know. Manacles can't be just manacles, or they can cut off magic. So I would not be surprised if they came from your people.
I'll take a look at them. Thank you.
And she points to and explains the room to go to for it. Do you think at some point you'll need to hunker down and get some rest? But it's not. It's
I suppose.
We need to know, or by we, I mean me, I need to know if there are any other big resounding questions you have about things that you're looking for that I might know.
At the moment, no.
I mean, we just got...
Like the fact that you've been searching for a place I've known to be fact this entire time. Could have saved you a lot of effort.
Or you can just ask the right questions.
Where are you
I don't know.
from? I don't know. And then words.
As an astral elf, we have expanded across the seas. Wherever we end up, usually we call home. But to know that
Where you originally came
from exists, that in itself is resounding. And I do want to travel there.
This is definitely nowhere near your enthusiasm of I want to go home, but I understand that I would love to see my home once it's cleaned out and put back in order.
Gotta
Well,
remove the
that
rot first.
It's going to take a lot of work and dedication.
A lot of elbow grease, and I am ready for it.
What about you?
Lucy said it best. It's gonna take a lot of elbow grease and hard work.
Do you even know what that is?
Are you asking Timber or are you asking Ryu?
Both.
Ryu.
What were we asking? Yes.
Yes.
No, like, cause like, does he even know what grease is?
No.
I get it.
As much as we've seen Ryu eat, he's got to know what grease is.
Yeah, but
I'll
in
give
the
you that one.
context of using it as elbow grease is kind of different. Because that's more, to me, that means things more mechanical, which is not necessarily his foray. So I was like, do you even know what that is?
Putting an
He's
extra
put in
effort.
hard work and it's gotten him this far.
Oh.
Even if he had to be slapped around a bit.
Somewhere I
Stubborn
think,
ass.
I think
I'll take that as a compliment.
You're welcome.
So the manacles. I am curious if there's anything.
I suppose I'll go take a look
Why
at it.
manacles? Why in a case? A glass case.
Do I need to roll a perception check to see if there's like locks or anything on this case?
I mean, it's more encased in glass. There's no door. There was a base, and the glass was welded into it. So the only option is to.
I got this. Found it. I'm kidding. It is an option, but I would never do that. I feel like that'd be sacrilege or
I want to
desecration.
roll an Arcana.
Definitely desecration.
To modify Vortex Warp.
Uh-huh.
I already know where this is going.
Make it itty bitty ones.
To reach in and grab the manacles without breaking the glass.
mean, it is a point and click.
I knew that.
Point and click. I make it sound like a freaking PC game.
I mean,
Right click.
Curse of Shadows. Steam edition.
this is doing it smaller, so teleportation magic can suck.
Finicky.
It's finicky in its own right, because you don't always have a guarantee. So you could lose a hand doing this.
I'll reattach it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but
Don't
it'll
be in the glass case with the manacles.
I mean, it would give us a chance to investigate the growl.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean,
Oh,
hey,
you got that.
What happened? You don't want to know.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Certainly try. Do I want to do it?
Object in there first to make sure.
It only works on a living thing.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's like trying to be like,
You have a rat? You have rats? You can summon rats?
I can summon rats.
Not glass. Not get them into the glass case.
Yeah, but it's a
How tall is this
thing.
case,
When you
Frank?
scratch one, you can just
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Can we send Sparky?
I was just thinking that. I was thinking of using Sparky's tail to reach into.
no bigger than a book.
I was thinking.
No bigger than a book.
What, I meant like how high off the ground.
It's on a pedestal of its own.
Okay, so it's
it's
Send Sparky.
Send Sparky.
use Sparky's tail.
he would lose his tail. I mean, yeah,
He
Yeah,
just
we'll just come back.
I mean, the only other way is to just break it.
and we don't want to break it.
Don't know if it's trapped or anything.
My only thing is, how are we gonna put it back?
Hey Frank, I'm gonna cast Find Traps.
It's not true.
I don't think they. Well, I mean, you also have to think there's like a bioengineering lock on the building. Would they really go through the extra effort of?
You know the funnier thing than actually that, if you're worried about being some kind of trap or magic, it would be more tech magic, because magical traps or magic in general would be the better option.
Don't have the tech magic.
Yep. Does anyone have the
Only
tech
you
magic?
knew someone who did.
Is that a wink?
I mean, you do. He's just in the tower, off world.
Cast your detect magic through the stone. I can
This-
try, but it ain't gonna work. I detect magic in the tower. Thanks for letting me know that. Plus, I'm pretty sure I can't speak to you through the sending stone. You're that far away, so it would.
Yeah, I have detect magic. Okay, so I will cast detect magic.
Wristbands.
Okay, I'm using
Does it give me a school?
Divination.
Okay. Going to tell you.
Oh, fuck it, we're doing this. Chaos Bolt, 5th level. It is force damage.
Are you breaking it?
I'm breaking the glass
Why not just push it off?
because it may not. It's not high enough up that it's going to shatter. D&D mechanics.
I have stuff that could just.
We're about to take a rest. It doesn't matter.
Just pick it up. You're tall enough and just let it go. Let gravity take control.
I'm only 6'3".
Yeah,
6
Okay.
foot drop for glass.
yeah, but it could cause like commotion and shit.
Yeah.
Listen, I was ready to use Sparky's tail, dude.
I'm thinking
Dude,
of
he-
commotion.
Or hear me out. Hear me.
Yeah.
Bam, elbow.
Mace.
Do as you may.
You're trying to blast, dude.
At point blank range with force damage.
Yeah, but
Shrapnel tickles a lot, you know.
Oh, couldn't you also potentially break the manacles?
Magical items. Nope.
Ow. Fair.
How much is it for an elbow to glass, Thor?
I'm gonna do a chaotic move.
I mean,
Oh.
it's glass, guys.
It doesn't take a lot.
No.
That's why I was asking.
Okay,
what if I
19 to
had-
fucking punch it. That is a 21.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna grab my mace and smash the glass while y'all are
I already
arguing.
put my elbow to it. That's why I was like, why don't we just? And she goes, why? I just didn't know if I had a.
I was just trying to make it hit it, you know.
I know.
Interesting.
Just
But if we use you put it D&D mechanics, if you blast it, and we're standing around it. Technically, it's glass. It's like thanks.
It's not magically trapped. It's not nothing.
Okay, well, it- 21 to break it.
I don't know
Okay.
why y'all thinking D&D mechanics
Oh,
make this like
I wasn't
outworldly.
Franklin. I wasn't thinking
because
that.
we know you and you like to throw curveballs at us for
We haven't got there yet.
for
guys.
for no reason.
I already threw the curveball. Okay, you drank worm's milk. That was the curveball in the eyes. That's the beginning one.
And
That's the
I don't
subtle
expect
one.
anything less from you.
I already threw another major curveball that only one other person knows.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Break
now
the
we're gonna
glass,
have to
pick
wait a
them
week
up.
to watch
But
this.
no, as your whole D&D logic and stuff, I was saying if he does like this and he goes force damage and he goes, I didn't want to pick shrapnel glass out of my
Like-
face.
Thanks.
As I'm saying.
No, it's literally just a little momentum. Wristbands with a light blue.
With a light
Touch
blue
them
what?
together.
Still levitates. And swirls around. To the bear. Swirls around. Orbits your mind.
Open your mind.
Just orbits your head.
With their manacles.
I know what this is as a player, but I can't remember the name.
So you have floating manacles, and they're circling your head.
It's a rock.
It's just a stone.
It's a stone.
I thought you said they were wristbands. So
They are. But when you do that action, actually, the stone levitates out.
Was it a stone of protection?
You do not have identify, or you cast identify, so you cannot know.
I think that's an ion stone, sir. My coat does that. No, not my coat. My father's necklace. My father's necklace does that.
My shield does that.
You have a floating shield. It's not a stone.
Ion stone.
You have an animated shield.
Different.
Her necklace is Trent's stone.
Okay, I got you.
When we get back to the tower, I'll have set.
Unless you want to play around with it for night and make it an attuned item, then you learn its markings.
Sure.
That's what it's in. That's what when you attune to it, you find out exactly what it does by messing with it and understanding it.
Sure.
Okay.
Technically, already had a long rest.
Yeah, but you have to rest while you're attuning to it.
Okay.
So that's how it works. So yeah. So unless there's anything else you guys wish to cut for, as I think that's just a good way to leave it. So finding still some probably maybe more stuff that's hidden within this tower, or at least you have insights. You have more of a truth. You guys find solace within the 3 rooms and lay down your heads. Some with different, newer perspectives or new outlooks truth and law. As you rest your heads and waiting for the sun to happen, for light to come. Rest takes you. We'll see you guys next week. As this journey continues through sand and stars, and who knows what dangers lie within the Black Pyramids. We'll find out next week. So from us, the D20 Misfits.
Good night.